Hey fam, welcome back to another episode of New Earth Rhythm Podcast. I'm gonna just get right into it, okay? I was running out the door and then I'm like, no, I need to take 15 minutes and capture this while it's so alive in me right now. First of all, I look scary as hell. I was just sweating my booty off in a super hot bath because that's where I meditate. And all day I was feeling like this internal resistance. Like I was about to start officially inviting everyone to my training program in June called Coherence. And all of a sudden I was like running into trouble with the language, with the offering. I was feeling like something was missing. So whenever I feel that way, I'm like, okay, I've been, doing so much action, like so much active, so much creation. I need to be in receptivity mode. It's also like a Sagittarius full moon. So much has been landing. I mean, this energy is just so wild. So today I just like I felt my wave like drop. I'm like, okay, I need to receive. So what kept popping up for me again was Mami Onami's teachings of the esoteric Enneagram. I really integrated it into my work last year, and I fully integrated the law of three, the law of octaves, the law of time into my greater cosmology, into my greater framework, into my methodology, because I was witnessing and seeing how it is essentially the hero's journey mapped out. So I was like mapping my own hero's journey on the esoteric Enneagram. I saw the moment of my Kundalini awakening back in January 3rd, 2018 as like point zero of the esoteric Enneagram, right? Then it goes all the way back around, and then nine and zero are the same point. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. At do, it repeats, but now it's at a higher octave, right? So this whole time I've been seeing from the moment I had my awakening, everything that's happened on my path since then, it's been all about me coming into coherence, okay? So I have my training coming up in June called Coherence, the architecture of human transformation. It literally is everything I have gathered since my Kundalini awakening, synthesized in this one powerful offering, right? So I've been working on it nonstop. I'm doing it in the most strategic way as possible, the most aligned way as possible. Like I am not fucking around with this training program because it is literally a culmination of all of my work, of everything that New Earth Rhythm is, of everything that Lisa Littleton is. It's just I'm properly doing this the right way. So today, when I was feeling like a pause, and then all of a sudden, Mami Udami's like teaching of the esoteric Enneagram popped up for me again. I'm like, okay, let me go revisit this. I need to maybe integrate a new, I need to maybe like have a new language about something, or maybe I need to shift my perspective on something to make this offering as impactful as possible. I just knew I needed to like look it over again and take in this information that I haven't really fully t taken in like that in a year, right? So anyway, I'm in the bath. For Mother's Day, my beautiful family, they got me this sick crystal pyramid with like all these crazy gems in it, like wires, like copper wires, quartz. It's just like helped me facilitate the wildest meditations for myself. So I'm in the bath right now. And then I got the full download. I'm like, all right, I understand what all of my work has culminated in, which is coherence, the architecture of human transformation. Okay. The moment I had my Kundalini awakening, point zero of the hero's journey, everything that has happened in my life since then has been bringing me into coherence. And the underlying theme of my entire journey since then is how do you turn your awakening into coherence? Because ever since I had my awakening, I knew the new earth is built by coherent humans first. I had to become a coherent human first. Then I had to recognize the method for it so that I could help others. I could facilitate transformation for others. That's why my whole path has led to me weaving all of these ancient esoteric systems, maps, cosmologies, religions, um, everything, all of it, like astrology, human design, all of these tools, all of these doorways. Ever since 2018, I just dropped down every rabbit hole, picked up all these threads, wove all of these threads to create a complete map for how do you come into coherence, and then how can I provide the language for someone else to come into coherence so they can come into coherence themselves, but not only understand it at a mental level what they need to do, but then provide facilitation of, and then facilitate transformation for them in their actual nervous system, which is why I've grown my work into, like, I'm a full-on ceremonialist. I'm a creation guide, a coherence architect, a ceremonialist. I've been leading guided meditations and activations for a few years now. I hella resisted it early in my path. It made me feel super like, it was just like so outside my comfort zone. It was so beyond what I thought I was capable of and what I thought I should be doing. I always knew I was a teacher. I was always a natural teacher. I was always really enthusiastic about sharing and teaching, right? But that piece about leading ceremony and real-time activation, real-time structural transformation by delivering a precise and bespoke guided meditation and activation live to deliver in that person's nervous system so that when we are working together, they're not just understanding mentally and conceptually what they are doing to transform their lives for them to become more coherent, but that it is landing in real time in their body. It is the bridge so that there is zero lag time between understanding and execution, between expansion and execution, between vision and action, vision and form. My work has become a bridge for people to, it's real time facilitation of transformation in real time. Okay, but my work took me, like, it took years to get here. So, okay, I'm recognizing, I'm like, t January 3rd, 2018 was point zero of the hero's journey. I thought last year during Ophiuchus season, that's when I saw myself really spiraling up and out into a new octave. Because at that point, back in November 2025, I had full on created a role for myself. I carved out a role for myself that didn't exist. And I actually pitched it to a company that I would be their coherence architect, that I would be their creation guide. I pitched myself, I pitched my services, I took them through a presentation. They straight up just couldn't afford me, right? But they were like blown away and they're like, shit, like obviously we need this. Obviously we want you. They straight up couldn't afford me and I was super bummed. But by me creating my own role and then presenting it to the world, I kid you not, not even a month later, someone came along and they allowed me to actually inhabit that role and pay me for that role. So back in the winter solstice of 2025, that's when the new rhythm is seated. That's when my true role, like my true role as a coherence architect and creation guide, I was full on in it at that point. So I thought that I had completed my octave of awakening into coherence. I thought I completed my octave of turning my vision into form, right? So because from there, I had, all of 2025, I created, my light always goes out on in the middle of a call. You know what? We're going. I don't have much time. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so then like all of 2025, I was really on one, right? Like I created the entire mystery school organically, it just came out. The Align program, which is where you become a clear signal, you rewire your nervous system into capacity, you adapt your true identity, right? You adapt your true beliefs. It's all about nervous system capacity, alignment, clear signal. Then a couple months later, I released the Law of Rhythm Live, which became the Embody pillar in the mystery school, which is where you actually learn how to work with organic time. This is where I teach you how to stabilize your rhythm, how to work with organic, natural time of the stars, of Earth herself as she's moving through her own creation cycle, where we're all at in this like grand awakening cycle, with like the gene keys, the incarnation cross, moving into the cross of the sleeping phoenix, the next 400-year cycle. I like synthesized all of these different timelines and maps from every ancient esoteric system, like period 9 in Chinese metaphysics, the end of the Kali Yuga, the end of the Mayan calendar, like literally all of it. And then I teach you how to stabilize your rhythm by attuning to organic, natural time, and then how to follow your inner compass so that you know how to make decisions in divine timing, in your own unique divine timing. Okay, and then a couple months later, I released the Create program, which then teaches you how to build out your actual ecosystem, how to build scalable systems, and the architecture so that you can continue to coherently expand. So I completed the mystery school this year in October, Ostara, like spring equinox 2026. It took me like a full year. 2025 spring equinox to 2026 spring equinox was the entire creation of the mystery school. Then I unleashed the mystery school and I was like, all right, like there it is. Like there's the method for coming into coherence, right? Like here it is. It's come and get it. Like if you're resonating with it, it's open. This is the New Earth Rhythm method, right? But then my work totally shifted, and now I'm like I felt myself hitting a new level where I'm like, all right, you're in coherence, and now how are you going to continue to coherently expand for the rest of your life into more visibility, more fame, just like higher levels. Like it became all about coherent expansion. So after I completed the mystery school, it like felt complete in the sense of like that's my body of work. That's my codified doctrine. That is the entire method with all of the tools, with every synthesized map and cosmology. All of it is in there as a living library. It's a living mystery school from everything. I'm a 5-1 manifester, y'all. That one part of my profile, I had to go down every rabbit hole and lay my foundations and learn and study and immerse myself and then learn through life, throw myself at life to build all of that out before I even felt comfortable being a teacher of this, before I even got on social media. For years, I was laying my foundations, right? Then I was living it. Then I was experimenting with it. Then I was actually facilitating it. All of that is what lives in the mystery school. So I was wondering, I'm like, oh, is my octave complete? Like I did it. I built out the mystery school. And then I'm like, girl, actually, all of it was leading to this training program, Coherence, the architecture of human transformation. The Align, Embody, Create method is a part of the architecture of human transformation. But the live 6-week training that I got dropping at the end of June is a real life initiation into you finally completing your own octave from the moment you had your awakening. Okay, so it's like if you had a dramatic ass Kundalini awakening like I did, and it was like an instant eruption, and then your life fucking went to shit after that because everything shattered, and then your attention currents, your mind turned inwards and upwards back to God. You receive more life force energy to pursue your purpose. Maybe you have a specific purpose. Maybe you have a specific vision. Maybe you don't. Maybe your awakening was more of like a slow unfurling, a slow unfolding that happened over weeks and then over months and then over a couple years. Maybe it was the pandemic that helped you wake up and see. Maybe it was something shocking like a breakup or getting fired, and like just like something so shocking, something so wild, like helped to shake you out of the prison that you had been living in, and the distorted, like man-made, 3D world that we had been living in. Something shook you out of it, whether it happened in an instant or it happened over a couple months. The moment that you got shook out of the distortion, you entered point zero of your hero's journey. And the first completion of an octave, the first completion of your Enneagram, the 9 points of the esoteric Enneagram, that is the face of God, that is the laws of creation itself. The very first thing you need to do in life is complete your first octave from awakening to coherence. Okay. So in this training program, I show you how to work with the method, how to apply the method. I initiate you into the method. Okay, so it's not just me telling you, like, go through the mystery school. I'm actively showing you how to work with it, at what point, at what time, the sequencing, y'all. This is something that AI could never do. No one could ever, like, replicate this. This is something only someone who has lived it and reverse engineered it can possibly show you. Not only what it is and why, but the how to do it in what sequence. That's what this live training is. It's for anyone who wants to complete their first octave of coming into coherence. That's what the Great Awakening is. That's what the wave that's moving through all of us is. If you have not been resisting it, the wave has been trying to get you into coherence, okay? And it's all happening right on time. Like 2027 is known as the reawakening of the solar plexus. That's reawakening your creative power and finally being free of shadow victim consciousness, which has kept humanity shackled, limited, and blind. Okay, so it was all about you unraveling your own conditioning, your own programming, your own unconscious loops, so that you could just deepen into who you have always been. To restore your coherence is literally just to remove interference. Okay, it's to return to your original state. The way I feel now is like, I'm getting emotional. I'm like, this is how I felt when I was a child. When I was a child, I was like, is it weird to call myself a bad bitch as a child? Because I was like freaking running my daycare and shit. Like I always just knew I was just such a natural leader. Like I always included everyone. My mom said I would like only sit at the peanut free table because one kid had to eat lunch by himself every day because he had allergies and no one else sat with him. So I'd tell my mom not to pack me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches so I could sit with him every single day, like just because I felt bad he was alone, and then like the way I rose up playing sports and just the way I was in sports, how I learned how to carry a team on my back and how I could be like the life force energy of the team when we needed it the most, like when we were down. I was the inspiration, I was the motivation. I would jack us up, I would hype us up during the games when we needed it the most. Like that was always me. I was always that signal. Then life fucking brought me down, I forgot who I was. The way I feel now in coherence, I feel like my 5-year-old self. I feel like my 12-year-old self before she got like thought she was fat and, and was watching fucking weird ass Degrassi where I learned about eating disorders and sex and like thought it was cool. And just like all the weird programming bullshit that has prevented you that has put interference on your true signal. Okay, you come into this is not going how I thought it was gonna go. I didn't know I was gonna end up here, but like my whole point is when you come into coherence, you're literally just becoming more yourself. You are simply removing interference and returning to your original state. And the original state is the play of children that matures into the creativity and the genius of adults. Okay, so you complete your awakening enneagram and you come into coherence, that first octave of your life is complete. Once you're in coherence, now you're a conscious creator. Now you can work with the enneagram the way that Mami Onami teaches it, as a cycle of creation. Like anytime she said she's like launching something new or writing a book or launching a new program. She's like, do you know how many times I have started something and failed? Zero. Because she does everything now mapped from the esoteric Enneagram because it is a map of creation. But for you to use it as a map of creation, you need to be completely in coherence. And that's what the first map is all about. Okay, so in my program, Coherence, the Architecture of Human Transformation, it's like a twofer. Like you're going to come in the program, it's 6 weeks, end of June, we launch. It's going to be Saturdays, like 2-hour sessions each, recorded, lifetime access. you will have everything you need to come into coherence. Like by the end of this, your identity, beliefs, nervous system, daily micro choices, daily actions, your habits, and your environment are all going to be in coherence, and they're all going to be moving in the same direction. I promise you. Like you will be in coherence by the end of this 6 weeks because I'm initiating you into it because this is what completes my Enneagram of coherence. Me, this training program is the exact thing that ends my own map of coherence because I have so many projects for 2027. And for me to bridge into them, it ends with this. This is the culmination. It is equally an ending and a new beginning at the same time. That's why I felt so uncomfortable these last few days. That's why this last week was the weirdest week of my life. I didn't even know how to speak to the energy because it was so uncomfortable. Like it feels like a true ending and a true beginning. I fully understand now what it feels like to complete what it is actively taking to move across into the new octave. Okay, so you come into coherence, right? But then I'm teaching you the actual method, like I'm showing you the map and the mirror. So that if you are someone who facilitates transformation, like if you're a practitioner, a therapist, a coach, a guide, a teacher, a healer, like literally anyone, you'll know how to apply this to your own work as well. I get into this in the free masterclass dropping soon about how the old paradigm of spirituality was so fragmented and distorted. It was like one method presented as the whole, one teacher's way try to tell you that that's the only way, you know? It was so fragmented. And old paradigm spirituality taught you how to expand your consciousness without teaching you how to actually build coherent lives. So, new paradigm of spirituality is having the complete map, the complete entire map, and the whole mirror, where no coach, where I will never tell you that I will bring you into coherence. I'm telling you that I have a map and I have a mirror for you to bring yourself into coherence. And then you never need to consult with anyone or anything ever again. Once you're in coherence, you don't need to be pulling oracle cards and shit. You don't need to be listening to tarot readers on TikTok. You don't need to have another like training, another certification. You'll have everything you need once you're in coherence, okay? Because the path will continue to reveal itself step by step. Um, so it's like a twofer. You come into coherence yourself, and then you have the entire method to move it into your own field, into your own work. But this is not just for practitioners. This is for artists, musicians, painters, creatives of all kind, literally any industry. I have people joining from every industry. Like I have software developers, people who create AI infrastructure for the new paradigm, people who create water systems for the new paradigm. Like everyone in every industry has recognized the signal that is New Earth rhythm. I have people following me and working with me and paying for my one-on-one mentorships in every single industry. Like every founder, every entrepreneur working on so many different things. All of us are the new earth builders. Whatever sphere of life and industry you're in, you're meant to change it from the inside out. The new earth is built by coherent humans first. Once you're in coherence, you literally, what you build and create from there is 100% organic, in harmony with the laws of creation itself. This is the restoration. This is the new earth rhythm. Okay, so we got this dropping soon. I really got to run. I got to get out of here. All right. I'm going to have more info in the show notes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being you. I'm like getting all hot and bothered right now because I'm just so like truly in awe of this life. So thank you guys so much. It means everything to me that you're here, that you are devoted, relentlessly devoted to your highest path. So let's go, let's get it. Sending you guys so much love. That's all. Peace out.